Berenstain Bears and the Trouble with Commercials. TV commercials are entertaining indeed. They can also make you buy stuff that you don't need. Every day after school, Brother Bear and Sister Bear took a TV break before they got started on their homework. They got some milk and cookies and settled down in front of the TV and watched their favorite shows. Sometimes it was the Bear Stooges or Doofus Duck. Sometimes it was Rabid Rabbits or Wacky Warthog. But whatever it was, there was one thing that they always looked forward to. It was the commercials. Some of the commercials were better than the shows. They had better music, better jokes, better singing and dancing, and they were fun. And because they were so much fun, Brother and Sister always wound up wanting what the commercials were selling. It didn't matter what it was, cereal or candy or toys or a trip to Grizzlyland. That's what they had to have. Now, Brother and Sister, sighed Mama Bear after the cubs had asked for one more super delicious honey-sweetened breakfast treat. You haven't even finished that big box of cereal you asked for just a few days ago. But this cereal is extra super special, insisted the cubs. Happy Hamster, the super cereal spokesrodent, said so. I don't care if Doofus Duck himself said so, Mama. I'm not buying you one more thing you saw on a commercial. Oh, look, they have the baby honey. But a few days later, Brother and Sister were eating their extra super special cereal. They had pleaded and pestered Mama so much that she couldn't stand it. She had given in and bought it. The old box of cereal that the cubs hadn't even finished went right into the trash. Mama grew so fed up with the cubs asking for the things they saw in commercials that she decided it was time to pull the plug on TV. The problem was that she and Papa had favorite shows too, and they would miss them. Mama usually watched Miss Clara's garden show every morning, and Papa watched Fishing with Uncle Finn in the evening. Not only that, the cubs watched TV at their friends' houses and came home begging for things they saw in commercials there too. Mama was at her wit's end. Brother and Sister just don't seem to understand, she complained to Papa one day when she was watering her houseplants. They don't understand that you can't buy everything you see in a commercial. Why, if you did that, you'd wind up with a household full of expensive things you don't really need. Papa noticed that Mama was using the special limited edition Miss Clara watering can she had bought after seeing a commercial for it on Miss Clara's garden show. I see what you mean, he said thoughtfully. Maybe I should talk to them about that. So Papa talked to Brother and Sister. He explained that TV commercials were just there to sell things. He explained that commercials sometimes exaggerated a little. You can't buy something every time somebody tells you to, he said. You've got to be smart shoppers. You've got to pick and choose, or you'll wind up with a lot of things you don't really need. You two understand that, don't you? Oh, yes, said Papa, said Brother and Sister. We understand. But they didn't. They went right back to asking for every Barbie doll, Space Grizzly action figure, and big bag of honey gummy wummy worms they saw on TV. We need a plan, Papa said to Mama. They put their heads together and thought and came up with a plan. The cereal, toy, and candy companies always save their best commercials for Saturday morning. That's back when I was a little girl. You guys don't see so many commercials now, do you, except for at my house. So anyway, the next Saturday morning when the cubs came begging for things they saw on TV, Mama put the plan to work. This time, the great new cereal that they just had to have was Rainbow Swirl Bits. The toys were banana invaders from outer space and lovey-dovey dolls. And the candy was super duper sour suckers. Mama sat the cubs down on the sofa away from the TV and said, "Now listen carefully." "We're listening," said the cubs. "We've tried to explain to you that you can't possibly have everything you see on TV." "Yes, Mama," said the cubs. Hey, that looks kind of like Jenny sitting backwards in her chair, doesn't it? So here's what we're going to do, said Mama. We're all going to buy all those things you're so excited about. The cereal, the toys, the candy. Yippee! Cried the cubs. But, and it's a big but, said Mama, you have to promise not to ever mention another commercial until you've eaten every single rainbow swirl bit, every single super duper sour sucker, and played with banana invaders from outer space and lovey-dovey dolls for a whole month. Do you promise? We promise, cried the cubs. As it turned out, the cubs didn't like the rainbow swirl bits very much. Yuck, said Brother, they turned the milk purple. And then they turned to purple mush, said Sister. But a promise is a promise. The banana invaders from outer space weren't much fun either. They were just plastic bananas with rocket guns. And there wasn't much you could do with them. And the lovey-dovey dolls had hair that you were supposed to be able to comb, but it all came out. Then the super-duper sour suckers were so sour the cubs' mouths puckered up so badly they could hardly speak. But a promise was a promise. Look at their puckered mouths. Mama and Papa's plan worked. The cubs not only kept their promise, they learned not to get too excited about the things they saw on commercials. But as it happened, everybody learned the lesson. One evening, Papa was watching his favorite show, Fishing with Uncle Finn, when a commercial came on. It was for Uncle Finn's guaranteed magic light fishing lure. "Did you see that?" cried Papa. "It lights up and it's guaranteed to catch fish." "But Papa," said Brother, "how do you know it will do all those things?" "Well, gee," said Papa, "do you think Uncle Finn would lie?" "No," said Sister, "but he might exaggerate just a little." Said Papa. He liked Uncle Finn a lot and watched the rest of the show, but he had second thoughts about buying Uncle Finn's guaranteed magic light fishing lure. Looks like somebody already colored on this. Can you help Mama Bear find the cubs amongst all this junk? There's this candy and the TV commercials and cereal and a toy box. Looks like they were trying to follow the maze to get to the cubs, but they didn't. Berenstain Bears and the trouble with commercials that you guys don't ever see except for at my house.